Hi, guys. Oh, my phone keeps resetting itself this morning, which has been a little bit of an annoyance for time. Um, because I always try to be here at 30, but it's telling me it's 8:30, then it'll say it's 9:30 within minutes of each other. So it's all been kind of weird today. But here we are. I see somebody's there. What is happening? Let me check something, see if I have this setting right. No, I have this setting right. So, welcome whoever is here. I can't really see you unless you send me a message. Please use uppercase Q's for questions and comments and things of that nature. Like I said, my phone keeps resetting its time today, and it's just weird timing. Because I thought it was 9:30 earlier, it was only 8:30. And then it's just now said 10 o'clock, and I'm like, what is going on with my phone? So I don't know if y'all have had that. I also, some software update happened on my phone this week. And one of the things that I had an issue with was it has changed the color to dark theme or dark. So instead of things being on a white background or a light blue background, mine's all on black, and I don't like that. But I can't find the setting to fix it. That's really annoying. But you know, sometimes you gotta let things happen the way they're happening, and kind of you gotta deal with stuff, because when you can't control it, sometimes you just gotta. Are you guys able to comment? Because I see people are here, but did I set something wrong? And yeah, I'm having breakfast. Lunch? What? No, it's breakfast. What am I having? I don't know. I'm just eating. There's a person. Um. Yes, I am here. Let's see if I can prop this on. If I can prop the phone on something that will allow it to. Maybe if I move that, that would help a little. Let's see. And I should have moderators out here after a minute. Oh, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Whatever your name is, Bob or whatever. I don't read comments normally unless they have 3 uppercase Q's in front of them. Then I normally will talk. But because you put that there and I saw it and you didn't do uppercase Q's yet, a backflip? Oh, that would be hilarious. Yeah, probably not happen. Never happen, and I never could have done that. So, whatever. Anyway, so I did not put out my normal announcements or anything else. So, so I can see your comment because too many comments go through. There's Catherine. Hey, Catherine. Donna Kay. Hi. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming this morning. Uh, so, I don't know what's going on. It's been a busy week. Why do I say that? I've had quite a bit of company, and which is fine, but it's been different. One of my handymen started working on the barbed wire fence again, or so I expect that this week that will be finished. Um, I've been moving the garden space over. Um, One day this week, a lovely neighbor couple brought me to me, young adult cat. So the cat and my dog Wendy are getting along wonderfully. And we've had some cattle in the area again. Free range cattle is a thing here. Um, what else? I don't know what else. Catherine got a hold of me. Late last week, early this week. I don't remember exactly. She told me that Homer's going to have some surgery on his hand that broke when that door flipped in the wind and caught his hand. So he'll have surgery on that. I've had quite a lot of pain this week, probably the autoimmune, and I've been dealing with it as naturally as I can. I do not take pharmaceutical medicines, so that's not happening. But I'm hoping you guys have a subject you want to talk about. So, Ma, you need to keep your religious and political comments to yourself on my channel. Thank you. I have been studying again the idea of biblical healing and foods, diet. I do believe that everything that we need to do we can be led to by the Great One. And for the moment, I'm being led to do the best I can with what I have, or with what is brought to me, because I still do not have my car. Thank you, Catherine. I couldn't remember. Thank you, Donna Kay. Yeah, they were being a pain for me too. And yes, I'm eating. And yes, I will try to not have my mouth full, but I'm eating. Um, I still need to feed Wendy a little bit this morning, but she's out hunting. So, and yes, I'm having a piece of chicken that I cooked in a combination of butter and olive oil with salt. Wendy at door. Come here, Wendy. Would you like a piece of chicken? Here. So, you gonna take it? Yeah. I don't really want to like be holding a piece of food for you to take for very long. Ooh, God. Oh, what do you guys want to talk about? It has felt. I don't know what it has felt like. You know, not having good food storage here at the off-grid cabin has been challenging. Now, part of the issues I personally have, Wendy, I can't hold it like that very long. Part of the problems that I personally have, hi Iris, are that I just keep being led to not have much power here, as in solar and stuff. It's not that I have none, because you see behind me, I have an atomic clock that has batteries in that. The thing above it is the driveway alarm receiver. So that's where the sound comes out when somebody drives in the road. Yes, I'm licking my fingers. When somebody drives in the road or in my driveway, the alarms are set off. Those alarms have their own, the sensor, excuse me, the sensors have their own little solar panels on the top of them. The light in the ceiling here has a cord cable that runs outside the edge of the cabin wall, and on the roof or the side of the house is a small solar panel that runs just that light. There's another similar light on the screened patio. There's another similar but motion sensor light in the shower house. So they all have a function and their own solar panels. And in the way I think, that way if one goes out, they don't all go out. And I also have candle lanterns. You know about those. And I have little rechargeable lights, right? These happen to be bug zappers too, but I have two of those. I have different things like that for lights and candles. And I do have a kerosene lantern here. I don't have any kerosene right now, but that's not what we were talking about. But anyways, but because I feel like I've been led to, or in my knowing space, to just not have much power, I don't have a refrigerator or a freezer. Now, y'all know I love my cooler, and it's a 30-quart Ninja cooler that did not come. I got mine before it had wheels, so no wheels on mine. I love that cooler. It works. It does what I need it to do when I can get ice. I don't always have ice when I don't have a vehicle because I can't go to the store to get ice. So, because of that, I've been doing a lot of research on emergency foods and from a biblical nutrition standpoint. So maybe we're going to talk about that because it's been one of the things it's been one of the that I've been dealing with a lot this week, especially this week because I also was led in my knowing spot that during this month of not having a car, and it could be another month before I have my car. Hi, Leanna, I see your name. But because of that, not having a vehicle thing, I was kind of led when this all started a month ago. I was led to inform some people that I was not going to have a car for about a month. And then to, after I did that, to just wait and let God take care of me. That's been interesting. Not that I have a problem with God taking care of me. I don't mean it that way. It's been interesting because I was led to not ask for specific anything and to kind of wait until I was asked if I needed something or if I was asked could somebody get something from me or something of that nature. So I waited, and sometimes I have been right at almost having no food here at all except for the animals. The animals' emergency food for right now is dry cat and dog food. That's their emergency food. Hang on. I'm hungry. All week, I've been trying not to eat, to only eat between like 10 and 2. I don't know where I got it from. I just decided to try it. So when it's time to eat, I'm hungry. Mostly because I don't have other things besides whatever I'm eating in the moment. Here, come. Here. So, hang on a sec. I'm giving Wendy another piece of chicken. Take it. And she's getting a big piece. Here, baby. You want it different? Here. Take this. Okay. And then take this. Where's this napkin so I can wipe my hands? Here you go. Can you take it, please? You want... Oh, I dropped it. I didn't mean to drop it. Now I got to wash that part of the floor. She'll take it out on the rug, out on the patio. Anyway. So, since I had been being led toward biblical nutrition, more or less, okay, I started making some notes about what I remember from my years of studying with the Strong's Concordance and whatever else, right? I started at that stage. Let's just make a list of what I remember. Then let me get back into hunting again for what's the truth about food. right? And then as I'm like watching videos for relaxation, entertainment, education purposes, see who's talking about nutritional information that's biblical. And so, I was watching some videos and whatever. And then I would, you know, pray about those ideas. And I would remember, I wonder what I think about that. I wonder what I think about that. Then it would be like, well, I wonder what God thinks about that. So I'll be kind of doing that again, okay? It's not the first time in my life, but this time just feels different. Maybe because I'm being brought to it after years of living life. Maybe that's what it is. By the way, my friend Al Christensen passed away recently, this past week. He had a UTI and went to the emergency room and died. Wow. Just, we never know. So, uh, so food storage and nutrition that's kind of biblical and being led by that knowing thing. Um, I have been led for a long, long time. I want to cook in clay pots. Okay, someday I will. Um, I want to make my own clay pot and then cook in it. That hasn't happened yet, but I've thought about these things over the years. So I had bought kefir grains. By the way, I opened the package, and inside the package of kefir grains that I got off Amazon are these little packs. So they're all pretty well sealed. And I'm surprised that freeze drying doesn't kill it, but whatever. Um, I have not tried it yet. I was going to make kefir this week, and something else happened. Uh, well, I didn't have any food. And so I had gotten a gallon of milk to make this with, and I caught one of my little alcohol stoves on fire, probably getting rid of those. And then after that, I have a new cat, and it is a young adult cat, and it smells the chicken. Um, so I have been through being on the carnivore diet, trying other things, but being a month without being able to go to a grocery store myself. Here's a whole dilemma, okay? And carnivore diet had been helping me heal. And I've healed a lot, but there's still things that are not quite, I don't know. I have a pretty healthy, because it may seem odd to someone else, but probably I have my shower house is my bathroom. My toilets are composting toilets. That system is in the shower house. I can take a shower out there anytime I want. Leanna and her friend Howard are going to Sholo this week. They have generously offered to pick up a Home Depot order from me because they're taking a pickup truck. So they're bringing me more pressure treated 2x4s for the front porch railing. And they're bringing me more paver block brick. Paver blocks. They're 12 by 12 square, like cement blocks. They're bringing me more of those that almost finishes up the bathroom floor. So at least the shower area. They drain well. They're nice to stand on. So that being my bathroom situation. Okay, where was I going with this? back to the food and nutrition. But this is all part of it because I have a pretty healthy lifestyle. I get up like this morning, 4:30 in the morning this morning. I get up, I go outside to the shower house. I'm walking barefoot on ground. That's what's called grounding. So I walk barefoot out to the shower house. I sometimes even do it in the winter barefoot. I don't mind that much. Anyways, I go to the bathroom. The cat usually gets up and says hi. Well, the cat, Jess was able to make a swinging door for the cat. The cat can come and go from the shower house anytime it wants to. When it first came here, I kept it closed in, and I had the food and water in there. But the ants have been pretty bad lately. By the way, borax does help with ants. But I decided to take the water and the food out of the shower house because the ants were getting bad. So, um, so now the cat can come and go. But as far as being pretty healthy in my routine, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. The sun is just starting to come out. I go outside. I walk barefoot to the bathroom. I use the bathroom. I have for temporary, I have a plastic hand washing sink. It's something I made out of a funnel. Okay. I want to replace that with metal someday. Plastic doesn't last long in the sun or in this climate. Anyway, but I have a little bucket of water beside it. Some of this is going to change over time, but for now, that's what I've got. I can brush my teeth, wash my hands. I have tallow soap right beside it. I wash my hands. I splash cold water, nighttime temperature water on my face. These are healthy things that a lot of people go through a lot to try to do this when they live in a normal situation. My situation is very off grid, but I live a very healthy general life. I have an autoimmune. An autoimmune disease could be one of the curses spoken of in the Bible. Who knows? But what I do know is I just found out recently I must have had this my whole life. I didn't know that I had seizures as a child. I just learned that from the sister that took care of my mother before she passed. So they just found out just before mom died that when I was a baby I had seizures. Who knew? I didn't know. I've lived with this. I've lived with my issues my whole life, and I've tried to finagle ways to be healthier. I'm healthier every day that I live more outdoors anyway. So, thank you, Iris. She said that she was sorry for my loss. Anyway, so what I'm saying is a lot of my stuff I do is healthy. Sure, there are places to improve all the time, all the time, all the time. I don't want plastic in my life. Being in the United States, that's harder to do than in some places. But um, the goal is to eventually have that stuff out of here anyways. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but I hope it will. But for now, I've got to do what I've got to do in the meantime. So, okay, so I'm outside early in the morning. I get early morning sun. Lately, Wendy and I go outside and sit where we can wait for the sun to come up more, and we just kind of wake up together outside. Um, so we're getting early morning sun on our skin. I haven't used air fresheners and deodorizers, and I haven't used lotions and sunscreen in years. It's been years since I've done stuff like that. So in a general sense, my lifestyle is pretty healthy. So I've needed healing things, and some of the healing things I've done has been like switching my diet to carnivore, having lots of bone broths in the beginning, and It's been part of my healing, and it's been good. Um, but when I came to the stage of I'm in a situation where I'm relying on other people to help me have the things I need to eat to stay alive, what am I going to do? So, like I said, I've done my best this month to deal with one neighbor called and said, I'm going to Sanders to the grocery store. Do you want to ride with me? Oh, good Lord, I jumped in that car. I said yes quickly. And then, yes, I went with her. I was able to get some foods. Hi, Mary. I see you coming in. Um, but there's been this, she did it twice in this month. When you're dealing with a cooler and not much food storage that is able to be climate controlled of any kind, going to the grocery store twice is not very much. So, going those 2 times, I bought a roast of meat, but I knew that I only have so many days to maneuver the meat, right? So I had bought meat. I made sure I had ice so I could have a cold drink. I have a Sawyer water filter here. I've been filtering water so that I have clean water to drink. Not only do I filter water, but I also boil water. So I have water that's safe to drink. I'm able to take a shower. Some days have been really hot, some not. But if I was trying to be carnivore, I can't keep enough meat for a month without refrigeration. So I decided to place a couple of Amazon orders and to try some things. So one of my handymen, Jess, had gone to the grocery store and took a list and some money and brought me some stuff. When he brought me food, I said, you know what? Try to get me jasmine rice. It has no other ingredients. I'll try eating rice and see if I can get by because I've got to do something that I can keep with the temperatures and all. So I did that. I tried the rice. I'm okay with rice a couple of days in a row. 3 days, maybe not so good. So I have to maneuver this. I tried lentils. I'm okay with lentils in a very small amount for a short period of time, but I can't have lentils much. Um, I tried some other things. I bought a produce box from the farmer's market rescue the other day. I got all these fruits and vegetables, lots of them. Can't eat them. Got sick on a potato. And I say sick. I blew up like a balloon. We're talking, this shirt's loose. It would have been skin tight. Okay? Like, not good. From one potato. Yeah, forget it. I won't eat potatoes. Just stay away from potato. It's been that kind of a month. Okay? I tried dehydrating some things. I don't know what was done to those vegetables, but they never even tried to dry out. They just rotted. They looked perfect, and then the next day they were bad. And like bad, like smushy, gross. So those went in the compost pile. That didn't stay. Um, that's the way this month has been, experimenting with little things. So I ordered some stuff off of Amazon. I didn't order a lot. I was trying to be easy on my budget because when the computer comes back for my car, I've got to pay for that. I've got to pay for the car repairs and I have to go get it, right? And so I'm trying to be careful with my money on top of everything else. And I'm okay. I'm not like without exactly, but I have been squeaking by like how am I going to do this? So that's what fueled my thoughts about let's get back to I believe in God the great creator and sustainer of all life. That God. The Yahweh. I believe in that God, the God of Abraham and Isaac and the Old Testament and the New Testament too. But I believe in that God, okay? And I tend to be kind of Orthodox Christian. Tend to be. Um, anyway, so I'm thinking about, all right, I tried Encorn as sourdough. I do well with it. Um, I tried these other things and I was okay with them. And I'm like, so now how do I get back to this biblical idea of food? What direction do I take? The things I remember the most is about how bread is important and how um, fish, and especially dry fish, olive oil, um, dairy, when they were being brought to the promised land, they were coming to a land full of milk and honey. Okay, milk and honey. Okay, probably goat milk because they would have had goats, or more like a water buffalo, so it would have been A2 or something like that milk, which I can't afford A2 milk, whatever, on not on my budget. Anyways, olives, olive oil, figs, dates when there were company, stuff like that. Um, uh, anyway, so as I'm starting to think about this, because it's been a month, and this is the last of any meat that I have until someone brings me an order from Walmart on Thursday or Friday. Maybe being carnivore is not that important to me anymore. So, okay. So, honey, in my mind, being medicine. The last honey I had bought was this kind. It was off of Amazon. It was about $9 for this little jar. Every night this month, I had one spoonful of honey before I went to bed, like medicine. For medicine. That's what I decided. It also helped me if I was feeling hungry to not be hungry. Because, whatever. So I had somebody get me milk. And the thought was I was going to make kefir with it because kefir doesn't need a refrigerator. But Wendy was hungry. I was hungry. Then the cat came. Then something else happened. Then it was like I'm too busy. Some nights I just had a glass of milk for supper. That's what I did. Now I'm not in love with commercial milk, but I know that if you use kefir and make kefir out of regular commercial milk, it's more digestible and healthier than just having commercial milk. So that was where I was headed with that. I went ahead and ordered a bag of raw goat milk powder, full fat, from off Amazon. The brand, I can't remember which brand it is. I have to look it up. But the brand, the milk is coming out of New Zealand, so I know it's better milk. I used to have this milk in my vehicles with me all the time. So I ordered a bag. It came last week, but when the other handyman stopped by to get packages, he didn't receive that package. So God didn't let me have that yet. So sometime in the next week, I will get that package of goat milk powder, and that will help because it's powdered milk in storage, right? Um, I have a small bag of flour here, Encorn flour. That stuff's expensive. So that now I'm being led that the next time I have a hand grinder for grain grinder. The next time that I order Encorn, I'm going to order the full kernels and grind it myself because it will keep longer. I made a insulated double wall metal storage container for above ground here on the property. It already has some salt and some millet. Well, no, the millet's not in there. What else did I put down in there? I've forgotten. There's not much in it yet, but there's a couple of things in there. I had bought millet. I got the millet. We've been eating millet every night. A millet porridge every night. I bought a jar of tahini. I now have a way that I can make my own tahini when I get around to it. Oh, I know what's in that storage is flaxseed. I have a couple of things in there anyway. So, Wendy, you are being so silly right now. So, but here we go again. So the storage thing and then the gardening spaces, I want herbs for medicine more than I want what the average person would say is vegetables. I don't do well with root vegetables on a normal. So I've been moving the garden bed up behind the tree. I had to expand the fence line. I did that. So now, okay, so Leanna and Howard offered to pick up an order from Home Depot. So I got that prepared. And then I waited. And then when the people brought the cat, they said something about going to Walmart on Thursday this coming week. And that if I would place an order, they would bring me whatever I needed. And I was like, oh, well, I'll look at Walmart. I don't go to Walmart very much. And so I'll look at Walmart and I'll see about placing an order. So I did that in the last couple of days. I placed the order for Home Depot. That's all set. And then that will come probably Wednesday to my house. And then Thursday is when these people will bring me a Walmart order of other stuff. So what I placed the order for from Walmart is for a $5 bag of dry cat kibble and dry dog kibble. To me, that's emergency food for the animals. Then I got things like paper towel. I ordered 2 sterno cans that will help with some of my cooking. I can't wait to get the wood stove together so I can stop being concerned about being able to cook. I have lots of wood here. And even just walking around and picking up sticks, I could be cooking food. If. So, oh, I see Bernie. Hi. So I'm going to, for August, I'm going to order N-corn whole grains that I can grind into flour. I will order more millet and a few other things that are more biblical. Okay. The Walmart order, I ordered goat cheese. I did place an order for 2 packages of ground beef patties, just because I couldn't think of anything else. A couple of things, ice. I ordered 6 cans maybe of kippered herring, which I happen to like. And I ordered dates because I can't get figs. The order I'll get that I'll place for Amazon, I will place the order for millet, N-corn grain, and N-corn seed, more powdered goat milk, olives, a larger tin of olive oil, I think that's all I can think about right now. Oh, and honey, and I'll get more honey. Um, the Walmart order that I won't get until Thursday does have a small amount of honey. The canned fish, hamburgers, but you know they can always substitute. And so I told them if they don't have this, don't send anything. If they don't have this, don't replace it because I can't afford. Well, I can't afford it. They don't have anything else that is safe for Lesa to eat. So yeah, so I got dates, goat cheese, hamburgers, kippered herring, then paper towel, cat dog food, small bags but some, and it was something, $100, $110, something like that. Small honey. I don't remember. I feel like I'm discombobulated, but that'll come Thursday. So between today and Thursday, this is the last of the meat. So between today and Thursday, I have those ramen, millet ramen. Don't buy it. It wasn't the cheapest thing in the world. It's a healthier version of ramen, that's true, but it turns into mush. And so it's not worth it. As much as I wanted a noodle, it's not worth it. Yeah, don't do that to yourself. Just get millet. Millet, I make a porridge. So what I'm saying is sort of like the congee with rice that I tried. It's like, do I remember? Millet is something like 2 cups of water and 1 cup of rice or something like that. So I make it with 4 cups of water and a little amount of rice, between a half and a quarter, something like that. So, um, so I just make it thin, and then it's a little bit soupy when you eat it. So it's porridge, and like I can't have bouillon. I can't have. Okay, for a long time I couldn't have soy sauce. I tried soy sauce the other day. I might be okay, but I don't know the answer. I only tried it once, so it's not a good test. Um, but so I used to use tahini instead of peanut butter and soy sauce or tamari or something like that in place to put those two flavors together to make an oriental flavor. That's what I used to do. The tahini's okay. I'm okay. The soy sauce, I only did it once, but it was okay. So it gave me a flavor. Um, no, I'm not fine with corn. I see. Okay, Bernie, what y- what y'all for with millet to eat? Oh, okay, I'm talking about the billet now. And then Mary said, "Did your corn allergy heal up too?" It does not seem to have healed. No, no. But it may be the way corn is grown here. I don't know the answer. Okay, but I still I hate eggs. I can't eat eggs. I tried again. I keep trying. It's just nasty. And I don't know if it's because the chickens have eaten corn in there and grains in their feed and if that's it or what. But no, just no, I'm staying away. Just forget eggs. Just forget they existed. That doesn't work for me. I'm all of this I'm saying for me. I'm not saying for you. Um, I was wondering the same about I'm allergic as well. Hi, Bernie. Yeah. Bernie also said, you put any condiments in your millet like done in oatmeal. I I do not. Now, when I go to eat my millet, then I choose what I'm going to what flavor that bowl is going to be. So, when I you want to see my coconut bowl? I finally got another coconut bowl. Um, I used to poop. I used to make my own coconut bowls when I lived down in Costa Rica. Well, I made other bowls too, because I made what's called a wakal. But I wanted a coconut bowl. They came across my Amazon real cheap, so I got one. It came with a little wooden spoon. Anyway, when I'm doing my millet, I put the porridge in my bowl, and then I decide whether today is savory, so I put salt on it to eat it, or do I want it to be sweet? Maybe I'll put some date sugar on, or if I have them, I would chop dates or chopped figs if I had it. Or do I want it to be creamy? Do I want to put some milk or milk powder in it? That would be, but anyways. So, oh, Donna K, I see your comment. I can't use soy sauce, but I'm okay with Bragg's. Easier for you. There you go. For a while, I had tried coconut aminos. I don't do really well with some of the ferments, especially when they're commercially done. So I don't have answers on some of that. You must have misheard on my shopping list. Okay. I don't know what you misheard. Anyway, so okay. So I already spent $100 on money out of my savings for now until when do we get paid? It's today's payday. I didn't even look at that. So the 3rd is when I get my Social Security money. So I bought the $100 worth of $110 worth of groceries off of Walmart. I ordered that yesterday. So today the money hit. So I'm not really pulling from savings, but I kind of did. Anyways, for that. But I won't get any of that food. And I won't get it till Thursday. And then depending on whether Walmart actually has those items in the store when they bag my thing, they might cancel stuff on me. So, but this is the way my whole month has been, guys. It's been annoying, for real annoying, because I'd like to just go get something out there and cook a meal, but that's not how it's been working. So, and I have a little bit of butter here. So, I'll be eating the end of the millet probably not this afternoon. This afternoon, the juice from the chicken that I ate this morning will probably be the next batch of mushy ramen. Like I said, don't buy that ramen. Encorn wheat is the oldest version of wheat available. I will not buy any of it that has been grown in the United States. End of story. I will pay more money to get it from Europe. Wait. It is the oldest form of wheat available to us. So okay, Bernie, I see your comment. With eggs, yep. My body lets me know as well. I don't like finding after. There's only one organic valley hasn't done me wrong. That's great for you. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Eggs, I'm just like, I'm done trying them. I've tried them so many times. It doesn't work. I'm done. I'm just done. So like I said, revisiting the idea of biblical nutrition, diet, whatever, food from the Bible, okay? That's where I'm headed. I'm also headed I already have a Zir pot here, Okay, Zir pot is an evaporative cooler. You guys saw that video way back when I bought the. It was hard for me to buy them back then. They were really expensive back then for me. These huge big clay pots, and then I put sand between them, and you wet the sand to keep the stuff inside cool. It works. Don't use a glass cover on it. Somebody put a glass cover outside on some Instagram thing, or maybe it was Pinterest. It will become an oven and cook your food if you don't keep it wet enough. So don't use the glass lid. That doesn't work well. But anyway, I have the Zir pots here, but the problem with them in this area is we have such high winds and sand that the sand gets blown into the pores on the pot. So just like in the desert, periodically you have to take them apart. They're very heavy. And then you have to scrub them super well to try to open the pores back up. Well, I've done that a number of times over the years. And they just are not, the pores are not staying open long enough to be useful. So I'm going to repurpose those as I'm changing the garden space. I also have decided to take some of this corrugated metal that came to me in the form of garden beds, but they were not a shape I liked. And so I've been using them like Legos, learning how to turn them into other things. I am going to use a section of those, and it's going to be about 4 foot by 4 foot. I'm going to partially dig down in the ground to partially bury it. And I'm going to then mound dirt on top of it so that it's easier for me to reach into. Anyways, so this is going to be another like mini root cellar kind of thing, okay? Yes, I'll show you how it works and whatever. I'll try to video it. I broke the tripod. Anyways, I will try to set the phone up and take some video. But my point being, this will be insulated by the earth from here. It's probably going to be round. Okay, we're going to use a prop. Pretend this is the 4 foot high, 4 foot wide diameter steel thing. Okay, I'm most likely going to put it in the ground and bury the butt of it so it sticks up a little bit like that, so it'll be a little crooked. And then I'm going to mound dirt over it. So the back of it, I have some scrap metal we will put on the back for the back of it. And then the front of it will either make a round circle of wood that I can roll away, or we'll make a cute little hobbit door, or we'll make the round door that I can roll away first, and then over time we'll make a hobbit door, okay? Because it would be cute, okay? Because we can, why not? And so this will be in part of my garden area. The dirt will be over it about like this, and I will plant appropriate plants around it to prevent the animals from getting close, to keep the rats and stuff away. Probably some mint and stuff like that. And then I will also I'm probably going to get a solar irrigation drip system. So they make these solar watering systems for like your patio. They cost under $50. I don't know how long a piece of tubing I need yet or anything like that. But I'll probably incorporate that around this so that this stays wet and the plants around it grow. But this will be in the garden space I'm working on. Okay? So this is about keeping that one space cool-ish in an evaporative cooling way, and to use the earth to insulate it so that it's cost effective and as natural as possible so that I can put food inside of it. So now pretend, now we already know there's some, I washed this jar so it had some water in it. Okay, so here we are. Okay, here we are like this. Okay, so it's kind of at an angle. So we're going to be able to pull this away or make a hobbit door, right? Okay, so then we're going to take this off or whatever. We're going to open the door. And now you know we've got this slanted tube 4 feet wide to put fruits and vegetables and whatever in. So my thought just now was, well, earlier today, was you know how in a pantry you can get those, typically in the United States, they're typically white wire shelving units, okay? And they have drawers that slide out. I'm thinking that I find one that fits the center of this well. And because this is going to be metal, we can attach it to the metal and level it up so that when I go over, I can pull a drawer out to reach things, because it's hard for me to do that bend down, reach in way down low inside. I would be laying on the ground trying to get the food out. So I'm going to try to see if we can't maneuver a wire basket that is on sliders like you'd have in a closet or a pantry or something that would allow me to pull it out where I can reach the food better. That's where I'm going with my part of the garden space that I have been working on designing. Like, I don't even know. I've been working on designing this thing since I took the shower house. I mean, the old garden room down. But I've had a lot of trouble envisioning what I really needed and how to make it work. Because the refrigerator thing, you guys went through that with me. That's just not working. And I just don't have the income to keep some expensive solar kit running. So that idea, plus the pots that had made my old Zier pot, they're going to be incorporated as food storage in the garden space that I'm making. That garden space is already has, it's not finished enough, but it already has curved cattle panels. It's been moved. So Mary knows where it was for a minute, but it's been moved to a better location. But those curved panels will make the walls for this space, and incorporated in it will be the clay pots for storage of food as well, and this metal root cellar of sort, mini root cellar of sorts, is going to be incorporated in that. When I get that garden space together enough, then I will order shade fabric, or I will have somebody pick me up a shade tarp from Harbor Freight. But there will be the kind of shade fabric that allows rain to go through it. But shade fabric will be over this thing to protect from wind and sun. And then we will grow medicine herbs. And I will try to incorporate the, I'm not 100% sure where the asparagus bed needs to be, but there may be some asparagus in there. I'd like to do walking onions. I want to do some Jerusalem artichokes. Stuff of that nature will be up there, along with things like chives and rosemary and whatever else we need. There's a whole packet here that Cynthia bought me of medicinal herbs, seeds, and so that will get in there. But that's where I'm going with this idea. When you guys saw that shape before from the cattle panels, you saw two cattle panels placed together. I have three. So now I've decided we're adding the third one on. And then this will totally serve as a way for me to control a growing environment for herbs and things and to protect it from the animals and to help my animals to protect from the rats and whatever, and the cattle. It'll be inside the fence. I already have it here. But for real, this will help protect, help me to help things to grow for a year round growing situation, plus this more secure food storage. Um, because this trying to survive here more than a month in the heat with no refrigerator and struggling with, or well, I gave up struggling on, the Zier pot was fantastic the first year. I can't afford $100 worth of, let me rephrase that. Let me change my words. I don't think it's a wise investment of my money that God gave me for me to spend $100 a year on clay pots. I just don't think it's wise. So for the evaporative cooler pots, they worked well for 1 year. I believe it's the wind driving the sand into the sides of the pot is the problem. So I'm doing this other system, and I'll incorporate those pots in the garden in a way. Now I also will incorporate into that space. I'll also incorporate I'll have to get new worms. I think I have to get new worms. I haven't dug up the old worm bed, but I'll put in a worm composting thing. I will also put in for my scrap compost, not large composting like branches off a tree. That has a different location where that lives, but little like kitchen scrap composting will go in that space as well. And then all of this will be managed with a watering system that will include not only just, I'd like to have the solar watering system, but this will include something in the nature of a 5-gallon bucket gray water system where I can carry my dishwater from the kitchen area over, which would be like a gallon of water, and dump it into a gray water thing that will have its own. I'm going to make, I have some used pipe. It's plastic, yes, but that I got from somebody doing something, throwing it away. I'll drill holes in it so that it will be buried just under the ground level so that it can help water the plants. So that's where I'm going with that, okay? So now let me go back and see what I didn't read. I see Bernie's Food from the Bible. I heard of that book. Actually, I don't know if there is a book called Food from the Bible. I just used that as my term. I was revisiting Food from the Bible. Okay? And I mean, like, get your Bible out and take a look, right? And then Leanna said, the Hobbit door will be so cute at your place. That's what I thought too. And I'm using the term Hobbit door. Just a mini, because it would be cute. Just a mini door that looks like something. I mean, why not make it cute? Okay. Doesn't have to, whatever. Okay. Leanna says, aesthetically pleasing and functional. That's the way I like things, Leanna. And, oops. Sorry. It doesn't have any salt in it. Okay, there we go. All right, don't touch it. Don't move. The wind don't blow. Then Donna Kay said, years ago there was a video of a desert fridge made from an old fridge. There's lots of videos like that on Pinterest and stuff, Donna Kay. Surrounded by hay bales. Yes, there are such a thing. Here, where I am, one, even though it's buried with the hay bales are not that far underground. Yeah, I have trouble with the rodents. So I already tried some of those things. They kind of work and they kind of cause a problem. And so I need to be able to have all my stuff inside the yard fence. One, I can't afford all the fencing. And two, I own the top of a hill and down the ridge. And that part is hard to fence. And so I need to keep the immediate part around the cabin secure from free range cattle, antelope, elk. Elk are huge. And then all the other stuff. And it's easier to keep it in a small space than it is to keep spreading out. So that's easier and cheaper. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Donna Kay, have to go now. Have a great week, everybody. Please keep me in prayers. Bye, Donna Kay. And yes, please keep her in prayers. I know she's had cancer issues and whatnot. Okay. So I am telling you, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't be telling you guys so much stuff. But then I remember that if I give you details and you think about me during the week, you can pray about it. And if I don't give you the details, how do I get your help? And I'm alone a lot. A lot. This week, man, have I been blessed. Let's see. I had company Thursday bringing me the cat. I had Jess came by. Justin came twice. And then I had a bunch of interactions on the phone with texts and phone calls. So part of that was my son. So as some of you know, and some of you don't, my son is coming the 1st of September. Now, I haven't heard from Jason and Melinda since maybe last weekend. They're still coming, but they're having their engine replaced in Kingman. And they went to visit some friends in Vegas. And so probably seeing them soon-ish. I don't know exactly when. But so they decided in hearing my videos and in talking to me the other day, well, I'm saying talking, texting with me the other day. They're back and forth at hardware stores a lot right now. They found out that I have the grill that needs to be tightened and painted before we use it. And I got the cover for it for the winter and for when it's not being used or during rain. And it fits it really well. I have to fold the little side tables down, but they fold. So for like 10 or 12 bucks, whatever it cost me for that cover, yay, that's going to protect it really well. And the shelf on the bottom, we need to drill a hole in for like a drain hole. But also, that shelf on the bottom is going to give me a place for my Kelly kettle to live and stuff like that. That's going to, and for charcoal and stuff like that. That's going to be nice. Now, it's a wood-fired grill, so I don't have to use charcoal. But there are some times when charcoal's sometimes charcoal's what you want. And I know how to make it, but, you know, if I want a treat, having charcoal is kind of cool. Anyway, so it's going to have a place on that shelf. They decided, let me back up. They decided that they decided that they're going to buy the grill paint. And when they come, they're going to help me fix the grill. Or maybe they're going to do it. I don't know the answer, but that's really special. Justin was able to get the firewood all restacked. And we got the ground raked into like 3 piles. My wheelbarrow is really, really old. So the wheelbarrow, when I bought my property, the guy Steve that I bought my property from had some stuff here. The wheelbarrow was part of the stuff. So you figure that thing's 15, 20 years old or whatever. I just keep rebuilding it. Now we've mixed cement in it and everything. I don't know whether we need to buy a new one, but the um the inner tube for the tire just went bad and flat, but the valve stem's bad on it. So I can't use the wheelbarrow right now. That doesn't mean it's not usable. I need to check how good the metal is in the bed of it. Um, I keep having trouble. There's this spacer spreader thing on the front that keeps wiggling and everything. But they make a repair kit where it comes with either new or metal, the part that holds the wheelbarrow, and comes back and is the handles. And so I haven't decided if I want to rebuild it or if it's time to buy a new one. But a wheelbarrow's over $100 now, I think. And I can't afford a wheelbarrow right now. So, but I at least, the reason I brought up the wheelbarrow was because we got all that wood restacked. And now I've got those 3 piles I need to move. But I can't use the wheelbarrow to move them. And I just haven't got that far. So that all happened like last weekend. So what a blessing. And they've started on the barbed wire for the fence line at the road. That's going to be a blessing. Because even though I don't have the sides fenced, they're marked with brush and stuff. Yeah, is brush the greatest thing? Well, it could be a fire hazard, but whatever. I'm going to go check again. I'm seeing messages scrolling past me. So Donna went. I hope Donna has a good week. Bernie, definitamente, I'm always for you. Bernie saying definitamente means definitely I'm always on you. Always praying for you. Always on your side. Well, she said always. She used the emoji. Always praying for you. Okay. Bernie says that's one thing my Miami did was coal covered with banana leaves. I should have asked her how she made charcoal. Oh, I hear you. Making charcoal is not hard. You just have to have the wood that you're turning into charcoal starved of oxygen. So that's why when you go to a campfire and you pull the old charcoal off, there's sometimes some chunks of log that turned into charcoal. That's why it's like that. Hey, Beth. I see you. And I used to cook in banana leaves down in Costa Rica. I loved it. I'm going to have another bite of this food. I didn't finish eating. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, for like dinner, we'll have the mushy, don't buy that stuff, the mushy millet ramen noodles. We'll have that tonight with the juice left from the chicken. Then tomorrow, my plan is to cook the last of the regular millet with butter because I have that. And from there, I don't know how I'm getting from that stage to Thursday. But we'll be okay. Because the great creator's always taken care of me. And I wake up. And when I wake up, I have something. Now, it's true. I would give those 2 spaghetti squash away. I just can't. I don't want to cut them open and eat them. So I'm going to give those spaghetti squash away probably today. There's 2 of them here. And then, like I said, we'll be all right. I don't know what we're going to eat, but we'll be all right. It's not like there's, you know, yes, I have a little basket of spices and stuff. So there's, oh, I forgot that lady's name. What was that lady's name that sent me the coffee? She sent me cinnamon. So I have a basket, and in the basket there's cinnamon, there's um, cloves because it's good medicine. There's coriander seed. Um, I have very few. I don't have hardly any ground anythings, but there's whole coriander. There's bay leaves. There's I can't remember what all's in there. There's a couple of bottles of very few ingredient spice mixes. They were for grilled meat or something. They're in there. Oh, there's cayenne pepper. Um, there's a jar of coconut oil here, and there is a can, new can. I opened it once. I've used like 2 tablespoons of it of olive oil here. Oh, I know what we'll eat after that millet. Well, it doesn't have to be after it. I might change my mind and not do that, but um, I also have. Oh, there's cream of tartar in there. There's always baking soda here. Um, I will this afternoon. I'll put on a small amount of corn flour and water and let it sit in the sun and get bubbly. Um, and then I will be using that corn flour to, for making like, I don't know, I could make like a pan bread or a fry bread kind of thing. I don't have anything to put on. I don't even have any honey here right now. So I won't be like making a pancake kind of thing. That's not going to happen. But oh, Beth, I just saw that comment. Wow. I will be praying for you too, Beth. Wow, that sounds stressful. So, me here, not complaining, just explaining about the food scarcity situation that I'm in without my car when I've been such a traveler. And to be without the car, again, in an area so far from everything, I have to find ways. And so when I look back at the Bible for my guidance, as in that book, the way we were given it, has got all the answers to everything we need. So why am I not looking there for what do I need for emergency food to get by? And as I think about the things I already know, and as I revisit, restudying it, rereading it, um, I'm remembering that the widow had her last drop of oil and, a little bit of flour or whatever it was, right? And she would have had a flour that was either encorn or kabut. Um, encorn seems to be the oldest one as far as we know. But anyways, that's what I'm saying is you know, if I look at that, when Jesus went to feed the 5,000, he had bread. Sometimes their bread was barley bread, sometimes it wasn't. But they had bread and dry fish. Okay, those would be foods that if you were traveling as a nomad, you could do that. Or if you're in a place stranded, and think about it. I'm not stranded like the Israelites were for 40 days, for 40 years. But think about that. They were looking forward to the milk and honey. They didn't have the milk and honey. So I'm looking forward to the milk and honey coming in an Amazon order, but it could be 2 weeks from now or more. So if I think about this the way, if I think about this as if it's a mini Exodus, well, no, mini being stuck in the desert for 40 years, then that gives me a perspective to look at for how do I do this with what I've got, with what's available to me, and what do I store? What do I put away in my storehouse to be safe? So, olive oil, dry figs, honey, goat milk, kefir. Kefir, the way people tell you to make it, I'm probably going to do it by somebody's ideas first. Then I'll play with it. But I'm pretty certain that this is another one of those things where you leave the milk out and let it do its job, because the bacteria that you need to turn it into kefir probably is just sitting in the air, just like it is with sourdough. But I will first do it by the package directions, and then I will play with it. So this package direction says you got to boil the milk and then you got to cool it. Well, why? If I just let the milk sit out and come to room temperature, it's going to be the temperature they want it to be anyways. So why do that process? The only reason you would want to do that process, like bring it to a boil and then let it cool down, would be to try to kill something off. But what do we need to kill off if it's good milk? So I don't know the answer yet, but I'll be looking at that, okay? That's how I think, though. So, so that's where I'm headed with all this stuff, to make it so it's easier to keep stuff here. And then when I can have ice, this cooler is fantastic. When I can have. So when Jess brought me the ice the other day, there's ice in the cooler, but right now it's not doing a job. There's only butter in the bottom drawer of the cooler. The butter doesn't even need to be in a cooler, but that's okay. So there's nothing in the cooler with what's left of that ice, but meat had been in there, so I don't feel good drinking that water, okay? But I can use that water to wash dishes with, or to, for the animals or something. It's not like I waste it. But the drink jug is a 5-gallon jug. I put a block of ice in there. It's the orange drink jug. And I've been filtering water into it once a week anyway. And so it's 3/4 of the way full and really cold water. So when I fill this bottle, which yes came from the company that makes Engel refrigerators and coolers, I got that at Expo, but it's a double wall stainless. This water is really cold. And this water will stay cold all day in this jug. So I fill this up a couple of times a day from the bigger jug. So it's a blessing when somebody just brings me a bag of ice. If the cooler's already too full, I just put all the ice in the drink jug. That's what happens. So, but we'll see. I don't know what foods we will be eating tomorrow, but most likely we can do some kind of, maybe I'll do something like a fry bread from out of that sourdough starter that I do today or something like that. Beth, you are fine. I see that. Sorry, you're not 100% on task here. Don't worry about it. You've got other things on your mind. And I set this so that you had to be a subscriber for like 10 minutes or more to, so you're fine. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. So, but it's a challenge. Sorry. It's a challenge without things like refrigeration and stuff like that. And yet, it's not impossible. And I've lived this way so much of my life. It's so much easier than having that argument with myself about why the solar panel didn't charge the whatever. And oh my gosh, all my meat's going to spoil because it's 90 degrees or 95 degrees. And so why do that? So, yeah. Um, but that's the plan for storing things better. Some of the stuff I tried to dehydrate. Like I said, the little baby tomatoes, they didn't even change the way they looked until they rotted. So I don't even want those in my house again. Now, the little vine ripe tomatoes, they were about that big around. Those were fine. I'll do that. But we'll see what happens. But I should be fine. I have salt, I have some flour, and I have some olive oil. Salt and water makes good bread. We will be fine. We'll figure it out. I need to start using the coconut oil on my skin. I take showers and I don't put anything on, and it's dry here. And then I scratch my leg and I have white marks on my leg. They're so dry. It's okay, but I should be putting some oil on my skin. I want to get to where I'm doing the olive oil again. I used to. There was a time when I did coconut oil because once I figured out how simple it is to make, and I was living in Costa Rica, I had access to coconuts. That's a whole different thing. But I don't have access to coconuts now. And yes, I see Beth's problem she's going through, and we're definitely praying for you. I don't know what else I need to talk to you guys about. What do you have more questions? Do you have more stuff you want me to talk about? Liana loves coconut oil in her coffee in the morning. That's wonderful. Homestead and Nomads. I used just plain coconut oil when I was stuck in Arizona in 2018. Worked great. Yep. Yep. When I was first down in Costa Rica, I was having trouble with bugs. Um, like where I was living, there was a stack of tires and there was a lot of mosquitoes. I made bug stuff out of coconut oil with lemongrass, eucalyptus, and lavender. And I stopped having trouble with the bugs, so I used it all the time. Every shower. And even in that house, the showers were cold water showers. So, yeah. So, yes. Oh, speaking of the right coffee, I don't know if any of you guys went ahead and used my affiliate link to buy Danger Coffee. Danger Coffee is expensive. I get it. I do have an affiliate link. It's expensive. End of story. I mean, I'm glad Dave Asprey's making money, okay? But it's expensive. And I sometimes wish we didn't have to charge money for things. I wish that was the case, but it's not. So his Danger Coffee I saw it in my email. They just released Swiss water decaffeinated. They didn't they were not willing to do decaf coffee before. So now they have a decaf coffee. Um, that Danger coffee is remineralized coffee. And you know, I know I was going to put coconut oil in my coffee, but I don't know why I didn't. Well, I'm not drinking that much coffee. I just, sometimes I just get to where it's like, I just don't want it. I don't want any of it. And then I don't know what I do want. It's kind of weird, but whatever. And I'm aware that with the coconut oil in coffee, or when you do butter coffee, because you can do it with butter, um, if you use a little mixer so that you're getting it really frothy, that it's like supposed to be better for you. Sort of like the emulsification that happens when you're making mayonnaise. And for mayonnaise to be mayonnaise, the emulsification happens when you have a little bit of acid with the oil, and that you pour the oil very slowly into the mixer, and that's what emulsifies your oil with that little bit of acid that turns it into mayonnaise and makes it white and fluffy. That's what happens. Yes, Leanna, butter coffee is, I don't know, butter coffee just had been my favorite for a long time. And I know ghee is good too, but off and on, I struggle to find a commercial ghee that I even like. And when I'm making it myself, look, when I'm in this situation and I don't have any food, who's going to spend the time making ghee to keep it on the shelf when all you have to eat this week is 2 sticks of butter um, and a package of millet? So in those cases, yeah, it's not turning into ghee. Yeah. Yeah, the frothy thing. And now the frothy thing, I don't think I showed you. You remember I had the rechargeable immersion blender? I showed it to you guys on here once. Um, I traded that with somebody, and in I wanted the coffee frother more. And I wanted the coffee frother, a certain one, because it had a case and it also had the little thingy for whipping cream or for whipping egg whites. And then I don't eat eggs, right? Good Lord. I want to say, what's wrong with me? Good Lord. Um, so I traded, hang on. If I can get up from this chair without you all seeing everything. Close your eyes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Anyways. Oops. That'll help. I'll have to fix the phone when I come back. Hang on a sec. Oh, my knees are so stiff. Oh, oh, stiff, y'all. Okay, here I am. So I traded. I don't know whether I'm supposed to say who I traded with, but nope, left back. Oh, somebody's. That's what's happening. What's happening? a message a while back, and it just came through. It's not your fault. Okay, not your fault, but when a message comes through, so you must have sent that message a while back, Leanna, and I didn't see it till just now. Okay, so now my little prop didn't stay. There we go. Okay, we got it, right? Okay. So I traded them partly because this has this nice case, has a pocket, there's the little directions and everything. But look at what I got. Okay, it has 3 speeds, it's rechargeable USB, it has a stand for on your countertop, and okay, so this is the little let me try that again. I keep trying. So, okay, so powder, not this. It's messy. It's hard to clean. Liquid, yes, not powder. Okay. This one, this is the one that's for the powder. Okay. This one will mix your powders like powdered milk, like powdered goat's milk, or like protein powders. I don't use them. I used to, but I don't use them anymore. But this is the, okay. And they all go on to this. Okay. So this is the one for powder. Don't use powder with this. Yeah, ugly. Chocolate milk, cocoa. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, right? And then, so this piece, this round piece, okay, that's the charging stand for on a countertop. So if you had a place where you could set it on your counter, then you could set that on a countertop, okay? And it's a charging bank, see? Okay. This one can beat eggs or whipped cream. That'll be great for the Nomad Life, Lesa. Is that on your Amazon? Not yet, needs to go on there. I haven't put it out there. Oops, sorry the sound was bad. Oh, I almost knocked the phone over. Okay. Sorry the sound was bad. We're dealing with what we are. Okay, here we go. So this is just the cord, right, for charging it, the charging cable. And it's a USB-C. So good for like on your power banks. And this is the motor part. Okay, and there's 3 different levels. And so if you were setting this on the counter to charge it, it goes on like that. Okay? Okay. There you go. But it also, right on the end, has a place to plug it in. So you don't have to use that for charging it. So this is how it works. You put the little end in here. Okay? And you turn it till you find the spot where it goes in. And then it goes in, not hard, just, you know, finger tight, like it goes in. And then this one will run outside of water. You want it in liquid, but see? But to turn it off, you have to touch the button again. So take your finger off the button. So low, medium, and high. Okay? And a second time we'll stop it. So that's how that works. Love this thing. I have used it. I haven't used it as much as I want to. And then I'm twisty wiggling to pull it out because it's a little tight, but you don't want it too loose. And so what's the brand name? This one says Foodville. Okay. Foodville. It has a 2-year warranty. Anyways, I liked that it had the 3 speeds, that it had the case, and that it was USB rechargeable. I really wanted these features. Were important to me. So that one goes in there. Whoops. I should take that off. It would be easier to get it back in. There we go. It says I should have registered it for the warranty. Whatever. I'll look at that later. I've had this a while. And I do love it. So I'm putting it back in the way it came out. Whoops. That way. Okay. They call that powdered one a dough hook. I wouldn't have called it a dough hook, but that's what they call it. And then all the parts fit back in there just very nicely. And it's really simple to grab it out and bzz, bzz, your coffee with whatever you choose to put in it, whether it's butter or ghee or coconut oil. It really is. Or to do almost anything else. But anyways, that's what I got. I don't see any. I'll get this up close to the screen for you. Can you see that? That's what model I got. I hope that's clear. I can't see. I can kind of see, but I'm not sure if it's clear. It says Foodville MF09. That's what I got. So, it's kind of nice. It's not going to chop food. So I'm not using it to make salsa with or something. It's not that kind of thing. But I'm glad because it's a small package. It's easy to maneuver. I can protect it from the weather out here. The friend that got the other one didn't need the weather protection the same as I did for this. Now, to me on day. Oh yeah, did I wiggle the phone too much? Anyways, part of why I ordered this because I wanted more control over my meat. And often I can find a roast for about $6 a pound. But hamburgers getting expensive. And I thought about the fact that if I was going to eat chicken or something, right? If I wanted to make a chicken patty or I could like take the meat off of a chicken bone and put it in something and grind it up and make something different. And sometimes you want your food to be interesting. Then I got thinking about how I was struggling with the survival factor of emergency food here. And what was I going to do if I don't know what? Needed to, I don't know what right now, okay? But if I needed to process something, I can't think of anything. But there, a couple of times lately, I wished I had ice cream. Now, to me, ice cream doesn't have to be sweet, but I had here, I no longer have here, but at one time I had a bag of cream, powdered cream. Something with it. And I was, at the time I had it, I was early this month. And I was like, well, I can put a spoonful in coffee if I need to, right? If I want something to taste different. I could do, you know what, I've used it. I made cream of onion soup one night. I had those dehydrated onions here. I cut them as little as I could get them. I put them in a pot. I boiled them with water. I put some salt on them. And then I put some of that cream powder in them. And that's what I had for supper one night because I couldn't think of anything else to eat that day. And I don't have any milk powder here, but I would do something similar if I needed to. Anyway, so I hunted hard. Look what I found. Okay, Beth, you're on. It doesn't show what I ordered on the box, okay? Because that is not the same as what I got or what I ordered. I'm just showing you that part, okay? But I'll pull it out of the box. It is a rechargeable food processor. USB rechargeable food processor. So you can't say I have nothing powered. But we can say that I'm not really low tech. Have I lost you guys completely? I'm not seeing any messages. Let me check this. Oh. Maybe I haven't lost you completely, but are you guys commenting and I'm not seeing it? Are you even here? Okay, so I hunted high and low to find this. But it's on Amazon. So, rechargeable. USB, but with a different end on it. So it's not USB to USB-C, but it's USB, okay? And I think this would be easier to travel with, but it's mostly for here at the cabin, okay? I probably wouldn't travel with this, but here's the motor part, okay? And here's where the charger goes in there, okay? And it is a different size. The reason it's a different size is because of the wattage. So it pulls a different amount of power, but it's rechargeable. And then on the very top is high and low speed. Okay, so 2 speeds. And this is the light. And it's full right now. I turned it on to see. It's all blue light. Okay. So it says on the back of it that it's actually 70 watts of power, you know, and other things I have don't pull that much power. Anyways. But some of you will understand that this is cool. And no, I haven't tried it yet. But my thought was, with my powdered goat's milk, water, and ice cubes, and a drizzle of honey or a few dates, I could get something like ice cream. Because sometimes I just want something that's cold. This is the cool part. To me, the cool part. It's a stainless steel bowl. And it's big enough to actually do something with. See, some of the little ones are too tiny. So this one, it came with 2 different sets of blades with blade guards. I don't know why this one blade didn't have a guard on it, but whatever. I won't complain. On the table. Okay? Next line, the table. Okay? Next line, no. Or how much meat you can put in. You have to put the meat in little pieces to like make ground beef or ground meat, okay? But you could put chicken, you could put anything in there for ground meat, right? Goat meat if you can get it. If you could get it, if I could get it, I'd be doing that. Anyway, but so there's a max line, and then this, of course, is the pin where the blades go on. Like, oh wait, this blade goes on top of this blade, and the 2 blades together make a 4-blade doohickey. I don't quite have it right. Wait a minute. No, I did it upside down backwards. Anyways, these 2 snap together to make a 4-blade thing. I don't want to snap it yet. You have to kind of push it down. Anyways, they go together to make a 4-blade spinner thingy. And then the lid, okay? And the lid has an O-ring that's silicone. But I wanted the stainless steel top, snaps in, and then, of course, these would be in the bowl. Okay, they're not in the bowl, so I'll show you what it looks like when you light it up. See, it's, yeah, it's full. But this is my new thing that I haven't even tried yet, but I just got it. So Iris, got to take a little one for a walk. Sending love and prayers. Okay, you too. Y'all be safe out there. And when you're thinking about storing emergency foods, even in your vehicles, if you're nomads, let's think about some of that, okay? Because I'm rethinking mine because what I was doing wasn't working for me, and so God didn't take the Israelites out of Egypt and make them starve in the desert. So I'm kind of taking that information and looking a little more for, okay, so what am I supposed to do? So the perfect diet then cannot be carnivore if I can't find a way to keep the meat. And God kind of does things a little more simple, I think. A lot of, guesswork in some of this right now, but okay. So then this is back together. And so this will be able to store in a kind of small space. It doesn't like all go inside each other, which would be even better, but it's okay because to have this function, and like I said, I really this more for here at the cabin than for nomad traveling life. I thought this was important here because I was trying to process some food. I think this will help with some stuff, not just simply silly things like, man, I would like some ice cream, but how about, because I bet I can make ice cream with my little frother thing. But part of this is, if I've got to have food that I can put up in my, what I'm getting ready to make as a mini food root salad, I might want to make relish. This would help me to process cucumbers or something into relish. Looks like an egg separator scooper thing. Okay, that's back in the box. But that's kind of cool. Okay. And yes, I think that piece would travel well as well. Especially if you have some kind of battery pack with USB ports that you could charge it on. Okay. All right. Now that's all closed up. But we were talking about having the coffee with the oil or butter or whatever in it. And that's why I went there, to show you the fancy milk frother in its case, like this. And yes, I could make ice cream with this. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do anything with ice cubes. Love it. And it'll emulsify that oil in your coffee so that it's frothy. And that always feels kind of nice. Okay, so I went through all that stuff. No, I have not made kefir yet. I keep seeing the kefir grains beside me every time, and I'm like, well, crap. I should do that. Yeah, but I don't have any milk now. So now I'm waiting on milk before I can make kefir. But kefir ought to keep in the heat. And it would give me healthy bacteria, which perhaps help my gut heal even more than it already has. And that would be a thing of nicety. I don't know what else right now, guys. Yes, it's the right size for a van. Absolutely, Bernie. And that way, I mean, because I keep thinking about the fact that it's cheaper for me to buy a chuck roast often. Okay, let me rephrase that. Often, it's cheaper for me to buy a chuck roast than it is to buy anything, because the chuck roast sometimes on sale is closer to $5 a pound, or it's right at $6, $5.99 a pound or something. And if I just cut up chunks and stuck it in there, and then I could make burger out of it. And here's the part that I'm trying to accomplish with that making my own burger meat is if I buy hamburger like I just ordered from Walmart, do you know how many hundred cows are in those hamburgers? It's not just one cow. It's hundreds of cows in that hamburger. And for some reason that bugs me. And so I would rather, I got a piece of meat and I'm cutting the meat up, then I turn it into burger, then I'm having hamburger. Now I feel like I've got one piece of meat from one animal. That somehow just feels better. And so that's part of what that's about. And I could have just bought a little coffee grinder or something, but a little coffee grinder, um, one, the cup is too small. And it would only process such a tiny amount. It's not really worth it. And so I just wanted one machine. I wouldn't have to do like 16 things. I wouldn't have to have a bunch of stuff. So that's what I wanted it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What time is it? 11:53. I'm yawning. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. And it I don't remember exactly how much it was. I was looking at one that was $39. I don't think that cost 39, but I don't remember. So you got to figure I was looking around in that $30 department when I found it. So it's probably not very expensive in a relative sense. And I wanted the stainless steel bowl. That was really important because, like I said, I've got stone floors. And if I did want to take it in a vehicle with me on a trip or something, I don't want to have glass that I have to worry about breaking. So to me, that makes more sense. So that's what I did. I think I'm about done. Sorry. Uh, I've been I've been in quite a bit of pain lately, but this morning was better. But when I get up out of the chair, I'm stiff. I don't know what's causing the stiffness. Um, we just know that with autoimmunes or MS or whatever, stiffness and fatigue can be part of that process. And so, I mean, I could say, well, yeah, it's probably that. Probably is. But I don't, I would love to heal it. Do I know how? Not really. I just keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. Me too. And I'm seeing this funny, almost looks swollen, kind of funny right there, right now. I don't know what that is. But I just looked in the phone and I was like, what's up with my face right there? I don't know the answer, but let's not look at it right now. Um, um, yeah. And it's starting to get warm and I may I may take a nap. And I've never been much of a nap person. I learned very well as a youngster that you only go to bed at nighttime. But I've had to train myself lately. So, uh, but things are so much more smooth this morning. So I was able to get up when I woke up, take care of the cat and the dog, start breakfast. I did have a cup of weak coffee this morning. Um, I could have put coconut milk in it. I mean, coconut um, oil. I just didn't even think about it. Uh, I should do that. Um, yeah, yeah. And soon, like in another half hour, I need to go out and change the direction the solar panels are sitting because when we moved the solar panels off the back roof to put the roof on, we didn't put any solar panels back up. So I have to go out and move things around right about noontime in order to fill the little battery pack. I only have one battery pack left. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's this whole big kit in the corner. But good afternoon, Deborah. Deborah, I don't remember your name from before. If you would please use 3 uppercase Qs before any comment or question or subject that you would like me to read what you wrote and then comment on it. Um, but with my son coming, I discussed this big expensive kit that I've been trying to sell, but it's not selling. I discussed it with him. He's excited. He's going to play with it when he's here. And he's either going to take it home or make it work, or I don't know what. I don't know what he's going to do, but we're going to look at it. He's a real high-end electronics guy, so. Okay, I think I'm going to go. I'd really like to get the stovepipe for the wood cook stove so I could be using that. That would just be. I asked around if anybody here had stovepipe just laying on the ground. Uh, I'm not. Okay, wait a minute. Do you mean what's the name of uh the box I just showed you? Bought it for myself and put it on in Amazon because I haven't tried it yet. But this is what it is. And so oh, the big solar kit is way yay. Oh crap. Um I didn't get dressed this morning. I'm having another pajama day. And I don't want you to see what I didn't put on. The name of it right there, Leanna. Those are the power bricks. Okay. So that's that. Oops. Okay. I apologize for all that moving the phone around. There we go. The big solar. Got it. Yeah. You say way yay. but it looks like very yay or something. It's way yay. Yeah. And so my son is going to take a good look at that when he's here. I mean, if you guys find somebody that's interested in that, just let me know. Tell them to get a hold of me. Um, we talked about whether I should keep one of the power bricks and a couple of the solar panels. And I'm like, I don't even know if it's worth it. I mean, I do so well without. If I was going to choose something for my situation, and if Howard's interested for real, when gets here, my son knows. No, it doesn't come up on Amazon. Beth, I see that. Weye is not on Amazon at all. Weye is a. It's brand spanking. It's brand spanking. But I didn't like the amount. The kit I have, the buff kit, the kit I have, the buff kit that I have is selling for like, and I don't remember, 5,300, 5,600. I don't remember. It's more than $5,000 worth of equipment sitting right here in my house. And the small frustrations I have are because of my lifestyle, not what it's capable of. So about it or something. He finally, and we could just all sit in the backyard for a while. You never know, it might happen. Because yeah, oh, you found a link. So the available model doesn't show what I've got is a kit that's under the sale products. And I have the Pro 5000 kit. It's 5 1,000-watt battery packs and go. We've done a lot of interesting conversations. And yes, I am thinking more about going toward foods from the Bible, biblical eating. I don't even know how to exactly say that, but that's oh, okay. I thought it was more than that last week, but whatever. Yeah. It's all good, Beth. Thank you, Beth. Um, but my son being high-end electronics trained by the military, his, is it MOS, I think it's called, was high-end electronics and mechanics for vehicles and stuff. Um, he was in Iraq for a little while, a few months. Anyway, he totally understood what this kit is. He said it's an excellent kit, really good kit. But I'm not sure why I'm saying this, but pray for Sonia. Pray, pray, okay, I'm missing. Pray for Mary. Mary's probably still traveling. She was here, but I think she's still traveling. Pray for Beth and her situation. I have enough food or creativity to get through this little situation. uh, and that I'm successful with my food storage stuff I'm working on and my garden area, and that it not only works fantastically, but that it gives me some peace of mind around this whole um, food emergency food situation thing, because this has happened a couple of times here and it's been super hard. And I would like to be able to have life a little bit easier. And so, yeah, instruction, which is not completely carnivore. And so I think we'll go that direction. I'll probably talk about some of those things. And so come back and visit. Talk about me out there in the world. Talk about me out there in the world. And we'll just keep moving.